And welcome. My name is Alan, and we are back with more things that need to be done if we're going to really make this country great. One of the things I know is often bitched about is, oh, immigration. Why is so many immigration? We get it flooded. One of the problems is we don't have enough immigration judges. There's just this huge backlog on cases that can take weeks, and yet, a judge can be assigned 4,500 cases. So there's this huge fucking backlog. We need more immigration judges. It's not a case of, oh, illegals are flooding. No. We don't have the built up infrastructure to properly deal with it as we should. We should be having more immigration judges. This was December 18th of 2023, this article. And it's from track.sear.edu, so I reckon it's probably Syracuse University. Yeah. The Newhouse School of Public Communications and the Whitman School of Management, both at University of Syracuse. So, a new record was reached in November of 2023. Immigration court backlog passed 3 million pending cases. Just 12 months before, the backlog was only 2 million. That means the backlog has grown by a million cases in just a year. Immigration judges are swamped. Immigration judges now average 4,500 pending cases each. If every person with a pending immigration case were gathered together, it would be larger than the population of Chicago, the third largest city in the U.S. Indeed, the number of waiting immigrants in the court's backlog is now larger than the population found in many states. Previous administrations, all the way back through at least the George W. Bush administration, have failed when they tried to tackle the seemingly intractable problem of the immigration court backlog. Recently, however, the accelerating growth of the court's backlog has transformed the problem into even more daunting challenge. The accelerating pace of growth in the court's backlog is shown in Figure 1. Numbers for the chart are found in Appendix Table 1. During the last quarter of July to September 2023, the backlog jumped by nearly 400,000 cases, in an average increase of 130,000 cases per month. During October and November of 2023, the monthly growth has even higher, was even higher at an average of 140,000 per month. So yeah, and they show a chart with each quarter from end of 2016 up through the end of 2023, that period of time. So yeah. Now, more judges and accelerated completions, not enough. A detailed analysis of case by case court records obtained and analyzed by the Transactional Records Access Clearinghouse at Syracuse University revealed that at the end of September 2016, the final fiscal year of the Obama administration, the backlog stood at 516,031 cases, or roughly 1/6 of what it is now. The then 278 immigration judges completed an average of around 750 cases each year. The average caseload assigned was 1,850 per judge. The growth in the backlog accelerated during the Trump years. Compared in September 2016, the backlog grew 2.5 times greater by September of 2020, toward the end of the Trump administration. The number of judges on the bench had also grown to 484, and average pending caseloads were around 2,600 per judge. So yeah, we start off with the Obama years, and this is the end of the Trump years. You can see it's grown a little bit. So yeah. Excuse me, I'm eating another lemon drop. Hiring of new judges accelerated during the last 3 years of the Biden administration. The EOIR's latest personnel records show a total of 682 immigration judges now on the bench. In addition, each judge closed an average around 975 cases during the latest fiscal year. This is a closure rate nearly a third greater than 7 years ago during the final year of the Obama administration. Even so, more judges and higher case closures per judge have still not been able to keep pace with the flow of incoming cases. Thus, average caseloads of the 682 judges now on the bench have jumped to 4,500 per judge. Now, not only do we need more judges, it's not a matter of being jackasses and rounding them up like chickens and sending them back. It should always be the fact, and it is always the fucking fact, that we've stuck our nose in to Latin America's business over and over and over for our own fucking profit over the last fucking 100 and 200 years. I mean, honestly, We didn't own Texas and westward, but we had Americans that were settling. They wanted us to rule instead of Mexico, so we had the Mexican-American War in the 1840s. It gave us Texas and California and most of Arizona and New Mexico. The Banana Wars. The Chiquita Banana Company, in order to make a profit, was down in some of the Latin American countries to make a fucking buck, and just did what they fucking wanted. The fucking Panama Canal. There was no Panama. We created it and then had them allow us to build the canal across their newly formed land. Because up until that point, if you wanted to get from one ocean to the other, you had to go around. There was no crossing. It's one of the things that made America so tough to deal with. Now in the jet age, it don't matter. We can fly across the oceans. But yeah. And these are just glaring examples. There's so many other things where we just stuck our fingers right into Latin America because it's like, we want this and this and this and this and this and this. You know how many fucking coups we've tried to set up in Latin America? It's our fucking fault that they're coming to the U.S. because they're trying to escape the bullshit we left fucking behind. And we're like, don't come to America. America caused it. I think it's the least America can fucking do is to take in these people. But yeah. U.S. Immigrant, another, this is from the GAO, the General Accounting Office of the U.S. Congress. They're an independent organization that's supposed to track how money goes. So yeah, this was from October of 2023. More than 2 million cases are pending in U.S. immigration courts. The backlog has more than tripled since the start of the fiscal year 2017. The effects of the backlog are significant and widespread. In particular, the backlog causes delays and poses challenges for non-citizens whose cases are being heard in immigration courts, as well as attorneys and immigration judges and court staff. Now, yes, we'd like to do more immigration judges, but that shouldn't be all we fucking do if we want to seriously fix this immigration problem. What we need is to go back and fix the bullshit we've allowed to happen. It's our goddamn fucking fault. It shouldn't be war with Mexico to fucking fix the cartel issue like Donald Trump wants. It should be offering our troops to help them shut down these cartels, these sources of power. It should be building new things to help Mexico grow. I mean, if you don't know, before the Mexican American War, Mexico and America and the US were growing at the same fucking rate. They were both seen as equals. Just because of all they had to offer. One of the things that I think has allowed us to just treat Latin America as a resource garden for the US is the Monroe Corollary. The idea that the Americas are the US's to defend. You know, Europe, Asia, Africa, whatever, they shouldn't get involved in the Americas. Now, we know this is utter bullshit. The early 1980s Falkland War between Argentina, a South American country, and Britain proved we didn't give a shit about the defense part. It was all about resources. What we should be doing is we should be going back and cleaning up a lot of the problems, a lot of the messes we have made. Yeah. People don't seem to realize how much of this immigration is our own fucking fault. You go, well, that was 100 years ago. It don't fucking matter. When your country is constantly digging into Central and South America to get what it wants, you leave serious gouges in the societies. We need to go back and fix these fucking things. There should be an idea of unity among the Americas. But there's not, because we have been such greedy little fucks in how we have treated the Americas. Is it any wonder that some people just see North America as the US and Canada? Mexico is North America. Then you have the little strip of land, Central America, your Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador, Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras. It's just a little strip of land and there's a bunch of smaller countries in there. Then you connect into South America with your Colombia's, Peru's, Argentina's, Brazil's, Chile's, Um, oh, goodness. Guyanas, Surinams. Several, there's still several of the countries I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. I can't seem to get to come to mind, but yeah. We have interfered in almost every one of these places. Guyana in South America. It's where the Jonestown Massacre happened. I read a book when I do these readings I do for y'all. Oh Lord, what was the name of the book? I can't remember. Anyway, it was about the American mission in El Salvador. Massacre of El Mozote, I think it was. Where the U.S. was busy monetarily and weapons backing these groups who were anti-communism, and so they went about murdering anybody they wanted to point a finger at and say they are communist, they support the communists. Whole village in El Salvador was massacred because of what fucking stupidity we helped install. We helped empower. A village of innocence. But, yeah. We have a lot we need to go back and fucking fix. It's our fault that a lot of the conditions in Mexico have allowed drug cartels to flourish. We need to go in and help fix some of what has happened. Again, this is not a call to war. Should never be a fucking call to war. It should be an issue that we want to help you make your lands safer. We want you to be proud of your lands, to help you strengthen things that makes you want to live there. And makes you want to fight against the corruption. We want you to be as strong as us. To be allies with us. And yet all we do is, let's take this and this and this and that. It doesn't fucking help, and that's why we see lands that are broken and immigrants coming to the U.S. in droves. Because they're like, we don't have anything back there. Life is not possible back there. We're looking for a more hopeful future, a better future. You know, why do you think so many are willing to be farm workers? to be uh, maids and gardeners and all these other positions that normally would be seen as demeaning. Because often life back where they fucking lived was shit because of American fucking goddamn involvement. Yeah. So there's a need for better immigration systems here in the U.S., but we also need to fix things to the south of our border. But all Donnie wants is like, we should go to war with Mexico. I want to impose a 25% tariff. Because I'm a stupid dumb fuck. Now, let's talk about something a little closer to home. Minimum wage. When I was growing up and first started working in the late 1990s, it was $4.25 an hour. $4.25. We are almost 30 years beyond that. Another 4 years, and we'll hit 30 years beyond that point. And it's only up to what is this? 7.15 an hour from 4.75, 25. Yeah. There is a dire fucking need for the growth of minimum wage. You know, a rising tide, if we start at the fucking bottom and make it better for everyone, it lifts all your fucking boats. So everyone above should get a higher raise. From the Congressional Budget Office. The interactive tool developed and updated by the Congressional Budget Office allows users to explore the effects and policies that would increase the federal minimum wage, which is at $7.25 per hour, not $7.15, and has not changed since 2009. The default policy option in this interactive tool was based on the Raise the Wage Act of 2023, which the Congressional Budget Office analyzed in the budgetary and economic effects of Section 2488 of the Raise the Wage Act of 2023. Under the default opinion, the first incremental increase in the minimum wage occurs in July 2024. 5 years later, in July 2029, the minimum wage reaches its target of $17 per hour. Thereafter, it is indexed in the median hourly wage. The sub-minimum wage for tipped workers reaches $17 an hour in July of 2030 and equals the regular minimum wage beginning the following year. Users can also create custom policy options to examine how different approaches to changing the minimum wage would affect people's earnings, employment, family outcome, and poverty. In general, increasing the federal minimum wage would raise the earnings and family income of most low-wage workers and thus lift some families out of poverty. but doing so would cause other low wage workers to become jobless and their family income would fall. This is via an analysis of the Congressional Budget Office of a proposed bill, Raise the Wage Act of 2023. I don't think it passed, of course. Economic Policy Institute. The impact of raising the minimum wage to $15 by 2025 by a congressional district. Mapping the impact of the Raise the Wage Act of 2021 on workers. So this is something some have fucking suggested, but it's still never fucking passed. Raising the minimum wage would be an investment in the growing the middle class. And this is the Center for American Progress. A $15 minimum wage could benefit nearly 40 million workers and provide some of the lowest wage workers with an average minimum wage boost of about $6,000. I mean, my God. We have fucking companies that can fucking afford this shit. They act like, oh, it'd be so terrible. Seriously? How many millions do your CEOs fucking make? Your fucking board members make? And you can't afford to give the ground worker, the basic worker, the person who your businesses are built on the back of more money. Fuck you. July of 24 will mark 14 years since the last time the $7.25 federal minimum wage was raised, extending by yet another year the longest period in its history without an increase. This column charts what could happen to annual wages of all workers earned in at least $15 per hour, a wage floor that advocates have long fought for, including the Raise the Wage Act of 2021 and new estimates from the Center for American Progress show that raising the floor to a $15 minimum wage would increase the wages of 1 in 4 workers nearly $40 million, or 40 million workers, and lead to an annual wage increase as large as $8,000 for some of the lowest wage workers. A $15 minimum wage would also help reduce stubborn gender, racial, and ethnic wage gaps for women, Black, and Latino workers who are overrepresented among those earning less than $15 per hour. Most notably, if a $15 minimum wage had been placed in 2021, Black women would have experienced the largest reduction in their pay gap on record. This would fix so much, but they don't want to raise the minimum wage because companies cry and bitch and whine and moan like the little goddamn pussies they fucking are. Oh, we can't raise the wages. Oh, how will we ever make our millions? Fuck you. For more than 10 years, the advocates have sought to raise the federal minimum wage to $15, but even that standard has lost its purchasing power over a decade of inaction. Yeah, it needs to be higher. More recently, advocates have been calling on Congress to raise the minimum wage to $17. In 2021, a minimum wage of $17 would have benefited 51 million workers, nearly one-third of all workers. It would have provided the typical worker with a wage boost of around $1,000, which would have equated to a typical household's average expenditures on either their meats, poultry, fish, and eggs, or medical services and supplies. But while a $17 minimum wage would produce far greater income gains, this analysis primarily examines the implications of a $15 minimum wage in the 2021 wages, as $15 was the policy goal at that time. I think it should be up to about $20, to be honest with you. Again, I keep pointing out we're in a second Gilded Age. They don't want to submit to worker demands. They don't want to have to pay you what they should. It's all about goddamn greed. They think, I should have the right to make as fucking much as I can. Fuck you, you're just someone on the ground floor. Fuck off. You deserve $2. Motherfucker, they are the ones who are doing the goddamn work. You're just up there smoking your goddamn fucking cigar. Go fuck yourself in your goddamn ass. You're a shit-headed motherfucker, greedy ass cocksucker. I am so sick and tired of these greedy pricks. And Trump filled his goddamn cabinet with the motherfuckers, so they're going to go after the average worker, the average person. They're going to try to fuck them over as much as they fucking can. Because he filled his fucking cabinet with goddamn warhawks. These fucking greedy CEO motherfuckers. Fuck Trump. We fucking need a true increase. Families now are barely getting goddamn by. A boom in the minimum wage to 20 fucking bucks would a fucking hour would do fantastic to help people. And the fucking companies can fucking afford it. We know they can fucking afford it. Because most of your companies and corporations and groups that exist now are fucking these giant ass goddamn fucking bloated ass corporations. They can fucking afford it. When it comes to your medium and small businesses, I think they should be subsidized. They need the help. They don't necessarily make the big bucks. So a way to help them pay their workers should be guaranteed upon them. And this is part of also my idea that while we are boosting wages for the average worker, we help small businesses and some of your medium-sized businesses pay their workers so that it doesn't stretch them to the breaking point. gives them relief they need. Fuck the giant corporations. They can goddamn fucking afford it. Go fuck yourselves. Yeah. Minimum wage should be up there. They have up to 17. I say it should be goddamn fucking 20. It's at the fucking point now to where it should be up there. Because God fucking knows it's low now. People can't afford shit. And we need to push ahead so we can cover fucking people's asses. Fuck the goddamn fucking corporations. Something else we should do for the people, the average worker. Family medical leave. This is from the Department of Labor. The Family Medical Leave Act provides certain employees with up to 12 weeks of unpaid job-protected leave per year. It also requires that their group health benefits be maintained during the leave. The Family and Medical Leave Act is designed to help employees balance their work and family responsibilities by allowing them to take reasonable unpaid leave for certain family and medical reasons. It also seeks to accommodate the legitimate interest of employers and promote equal employment opportunity for men and women. The Family and Medical Leave Act applies to all public agencies, all public and private elementary and secondary schools, and companies with 50 or more employees. These employees must be provide an eligible employee with up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave each year for any of the following reasons: for the birth and care of a newborn child of an employee, for placement with the employee of a child for adoption or foster care, to care for an immediate family member, i.e. spouse, child, or parent with a serious health condition, or take medical leave when the employee is unable to work because of serious health conditions. I don't know if this ever fucking passed or not. But it was being offered up as a potentiality. Which, I agree, but I would want to go beyond that. A woman is pregnant for 40 weeks before she has a child. There are 52 fucking weeks in a year. I would give her that last trimester, starting in the last trimester, she can take off. Through that trimester, and then into about another 30 weeks, because you're going to have a lot going on. You have your newborn, sleep and everything's going to be crazy. Their sleep hours are not the same as a regular person's. It gives you time to bond with your child. I think that healthcare should be held in place for the parent. The spouse can have the final trimester, so he spends it with their wife, and then an additional 12 weeks to help take care of things. Because again, you know, you want to be there to help the starting family. The U.S. is, again, last in this setup among first world nations. We don't give parental leave. I don't know if this has ever been fucking passed or anything, but I know for quite a while there we weren't fucking given any parental leave, unlike other first world nations, France and England, and yeah. If we are serious about, you know, wanting families, wanting this and that, we should fucking goddamn act fucking serious. So, yes, parental leave. Big. Big, 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 big. Again, the woman's going through a lot having just birthed a child. There's awesome. There's a chance of postpartum issues. It gives them time to bond with the child, and I want them to have that third trimester off because that's when some serious shit can happen. It's in that final trimester if you're trying to do certain things that serious accidents can occur. But yeah. But I also agree with some of the other things here. You should have, I think, 12 weeks for some of the other things work. Placement with the employee of a child or for adoption or foster care. So if they're adopting a child, um, to care for an immediate family member, yeah, you should have time off if your child, your spouse gets some bad disease, goodness forbid, like cancer or something, or your parent suffers a health issue, stroke, whatever. There should be the capability to take that time off to care for them. And then medical leave when the employee is unable to work because of a serious health condition. Are you going to try to punish them because they're unable to fucking work because their fucking health doesn't allow it? If you try to do that, you're a goddamn dumb, greedy, cock-sucking motherfucking prick. We need a level of making sure workers have the right to take that time off to cover fucking things. Parental leave in the U.S. Parental leave, also known as family leave, is regulated in the U.S. by the U.S. labor law and state law, the Family Medical Leave Act of 1993. Okay, so it is something requires 12 weeks of unpaid leave annually, or parents of newborn or newly adopted children if they work for a company with 50 or more employees. So it's only if you work for the big groups. As of October the 1st, 2020, the same policy has been extended to caregivers of sick family members or a partner in direct reaction to the birth of the child, therefore responsible for the care of the mother. Although 12 weeks are allowed to them. On average, American fathers only take 10 days off due to financial need. Yeah. Finances, there should be a way to cover this. And then, as part of the family parental leave, I feel there should be an application for companies to sign and say, look, we need you to pay and cover these people. You know, I know companies are so concerned about their costs and finances. You gotta buy that other yacht. So, yeah, have a way to cover these people through some kind of government fund, and then their health care and food are given a temporary boost, like with SNAP or Medicare, to help cover them in those needs. I mean, if you want to act like you're so concerned about having American families, you should goddamn fucking do things to fix it. Way I see it, though, most cocksuckers don't give a goddamn shit. They just love to run their goddamn mouth. Beginning in 2020, California, New Jersey, and Rhode Island required paid parental leave to employees, including those a part of a 50 or less employees. There is no paid paternity leave in the U.S. currently. So no paid. You can have leave of 12 weeks, but you don't get money. That is below the 16-week minimum recommended by the World Health Organization. The U.S. is the only country among the 38 member OECD nations that has not passed laws requiring businesses and corporations to offer paid maternity leave to their employees. Again, the United States shafting the people. Between 1961 and 65, only 14% of mothers participated in the workforce within 6 months of their child's birth. During the same period, only 44% of mothers worked during their pregnancy. Yeah. Until the enactment of the Family and Medical Leave Act in 1993, maternity leave coverage was governed by state law, collective bargaining agreements, and employer agencies. I hear a lot of people, oh, give it to the states. No, there's some goddamn bullshit. We need to give this shit to the states. No, this should be a guaranteed thing. If the states want to give them more, that's fucking fine. But I feel there should be a ground floor on this type of fucking thing. It's federal. And again, more information on paid parental leave from the Department of Labor. Treat the workers right. Do things that actually fix immigration and not just these bullshit fucking things like, oh, let's lock them up at 50,000. No. Fucking goddamn fix things. If we're going to get things done, we should fix things. But too often, it's often stranded in fucking Congress because some people don't want to pay for it. Fuck you. Fuck you. But we'll go ahead and end this episode there. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting sources and links in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.